Communique, thank you. That's when U.S. acknowledged that there's one China, I believe, and then later on in I think it was 1982 with the six assurances that was by Reagan, if I'm not mistaken, where they were going to take a more hands-off approach. So, is there too much ambiguity in the policy behind U.S. and China and Taiwan, or does that affect it in any way?
So the way the U.S. has managed this relationship, and it's, I think of it as a triangular relationship, right? There's the PRC, there's Taiwan, and there's the U.S. The way the U.S. has managed the relationship has required a lot of diplomatic subtlety. So for a long time, the U.S. position was the Republic of China is the real China, right? The one on Taiwan is the real China, and the communist one is not real. And we're not going to have a relationship with them because they are communists. And, back in this period, the US was very anti-communist, and they seized power by force, not in a legitimate way. So until 1979, the US actually recognized the Republic of China on Taiwan as the legitimate government of all of China, even though for 30 years, the PRC had been ruling the mainland. But in 1971, President Nixon, recognizing that it was impossible to sustain that arrangement much longer, sent his national security advisor, Henry Kissinger, to Beijing to talk to China's leadership, Mao Zedong and his number two, Zhou Enlai, and to talk to them about normalizing relations between the US and China. And the sticking point was for the PRC leadership, they wanted the US to say, there's only one China, Taiwan is part of China, and the government of China is this one here in Beijing. Meanwhile, in Taiwan, our military ally, right? Like at that point, we had a mutual defense treaty alliance with the Republic of China. Our ally in Taiwan was saying, we agree with those guys that there's only one China and Taiwan is part of it, but it's us, not them. So the US position was really subtle. They said, and this is all, I can't recite the 1972 communique, but I get pretty close. The Shanghai Communique of 1972. The U.S. acknowledges that Chinese on both sides of the Taiwan Strait believe there is one China and Taiwan is part of it. The U.S. does not challenge that position. So we never endorsed it. We never said we agreed with it. We never said there was one China. We never said Taiwan was part of China. What we said is, you guys say that, and who are we to tell you you're wrong, right? So the US doesn't take a position. So that was enough in 1972 because the PRC government really, really wanted normalization of relations to help them with the threat of the Soviet Union that they were facing.